My joint freezing. All right, y'all. Y'all hear me? 1, 2. All right. All right, those headphones. Now, why does my picture keep freezing? So, who we got in here? Knowledge Born, SW, YSU, Shaquem, Tommy Robinson, Mr. Green One, YSU, Master Student, Justice Born, Universal, Marcus E. Gilbert, coming at us on with us on Facebook over here. Ooh. All right, Chief. Wait for a few more members of the What Did I Miss crew. Couple more members. Get started. Hey, a little bit of food over here. True self. Let's see. Can we see over there? I need to find the get a place for my camera. Look over here. Get that cleaned up. What's going on out there with everybody, man? Everybody building. Everything going good out there. You know, this is my first official class. You know, yesterday, we kept Umalaw's class going. But yeah, back officially in the pocket over here. See, man, why did I keep freezing? Just the internet connection ain't what it used to be. Had to work on that. So who we got? Master Student. Yeah, we got some. We're gonna deal with some low key stuff. We're gonna start off low key with the 1 to 10. We got Master Student in here. Who else? Who else is just starting off on the degrees? Who else is out there just starting off on the degrees? What degrees you on, master student? All on the business. Knowledge God. Knowledge God is new to the group. Where you from, Knowledge God? Welcome to the channel. King Shah. All right, you just started at 136. So this is good for you too. You know, we're gonna relate today's mathematics, wisdom, understanding to the 23 million square miles. You know, in relation to, all right, Elizabeth, New Jersey. Shout out to Elizabeth from New Jersey. Energy born. That's how y'all manifest that out there. That's peace. Supreme man. What you say? You all over. Master student, you all over with. Divine James. Peace to the God coming at us on Facebook. You new to the channel. Where you from, Divine? I hope you don't mean that you all over the lessons. He Kareem. I hope that doesn't mean that you all over the lessons. It's a wisdom degree. But today we're talking about the 7th degree. And science with wisdom understanding. All right, real hip hop. You know, we deal with yesterday we spoke on the 1 to 10. We spoke on a couple of things. But this is all right, Astoria, Queens, and Albany, New York. Shout out to Astoria and Albany. See, we dealing with the wisdom understanding. You know, we say the 23 million square miles is the best part. You understand what I'm saying? Because the original man keep the best part preserved for himself. You see what I'm saying? So when it tells you that the 23 million square miles is used by the original man, that's the best part. But you know how we do on this channel. We're going to elevate the level of it, you know what I mean, past just the physical thing, what it's telling you right there. Sincere, born Asiatic, and divine truth. King Shah came in. We're gonna elevate it above just the face value. You know, we can draw that up to 23 million square miles, right? But you know, when you see wisdom and understanding, right? We know that knowledge is the foundation. You can't get to 2 and 3 before you get to 1. So like I said, we're going to elevate it above just the face value of talking about the land and deal with while the 23 is telling you about the best part, the wisdom and the understanding. So I guess we're gonna go Alfonso Brown, the the Mythbuster, the original Mythbuster ain't. But we're gonna go back to the old format, right? Where, you know, I'm gonna ask the room, how do y'all see that? How the wisdom and understanding tells you about the best part. God Light and down south, God Body came in. Everybody do the each one teach one for me, and hit the like button, share this out on your social media, because you know how they do me. Ever since I became a big YouTuber. I'm sure we got some. I'm particularly, I want to hear from Master Student, and I want to hear from who's this? There's another new brother that just came in. Yeah, Knowledge 7, Knowledge God. How y'all see that? The wisdom and understanding telling you about the best part. Yeah, real hip hop, you too. I want to hear from you. Tommy Robinson said it's our building block. It's our building block of our civilization. Indeed. Master Student said because wisdom is accumulation of knowledge and action, which shows and proves. This is a good answer. So you're saying wisdom is the accumulation of knowledge and action, which shows and proves the understanding. Not real hip hop, not well, yeah, at the end of the day, we are building on today's mathematics. But when you right, majestic battle loss is the woman and child. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't know if you're in the 1 to 14 yet, but the 1 to 14 tells you that the original man preserved the best part for himself ever since he made it. So when you look in the 1 to 10, then it tells you the original man uses 23 million square miles, right? Then we know that that 23 million square miles is the best part. SW said man, woman, and child. God is man. 2 is wisdom of woman. 3 is understanding the child. Six ciphers following is the equality amongst them. I mean, you put equal understanding right there, so that's how that you meant. Uh, the bar just came in. Tommy Robinson said the only way to achieve understanding is through wisdom. These are all fantastic answers. See, it's something specific, right? That you know, uh, because this is the God degree, right? The original man God, or original man I God. I always, sometimes I get dyslexia. I don't know what that is. Uh, so I'm going to relate this to the science of being God as well. Anyone else? wisdom is the activation of knowledge. Understanding of how to activate gives power.
I'm going to take a walk to the store for a minute.
I bet. So like I said, you know, we come into this nation, right? And you know, it teaches us about the reality of ourselves being God. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of times, you know, listen to the terminology. What do we say, right? When we teach somebody the reality of who they are, right? What do we call that? Well, as you said, dealing with the best part gives you that activated sight to predict your future. 23 black scientists in the year one. Excellent answer. Seven and a half is also in there. The original man's mental power. God, 7 is the God degree, the 7th degree, and wisdom plus understanding borns power. Tommy Robinson said reality. Yeah, we call it reality, but we got a name now. We call it when we bring somebody into the reality though. All right, now the boss said knowledge of self. That's what I'm saying. We would say we give people the knowledge, right? Enlightening, right? Knowledge of self, which is the science of all thing in life. And Kareem. Marcus Gilbert said, wisdom is your words and actions that reflect the knowledge you build from. Understanding shows you that you are on your way to living out the culture of our God. Real Hip Hop said, wisdom is the manifestation of knowledge. It's applying knowledge via words and actions that help you understand. Nick Hard. Nick Hard is new to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Where you from, Nick Hard? Actually, I think we did see Nick Hard here before. Knowledge. God said wisdom is the accumulation of knowledge, actual facts over time being applied to your everyday life. That's how you gain your understanding. Now, see, I'm gonna tie in everything which I said, right? See, when you come here, right, you get the knowledge. But here's the thing: out of all the things I said, right, where did the wisdom and understanding come from? All right, from Love Allah. Shout out to Los Angeles. You see the guys on the west side. But where does the wisdom and the understanding come from? It comes from the knowledge. Wisdom is the manifestation of knowledge. Knowledge, these things are correct. You see, the wisdom and the understanding has to come from you. Celestine Best said the original man, the Asiatic black man. I don't know if you meant without, you know, but the wisdom and the understanding has to come from you. The wisdom and understanding comes from the knowledge of self, right? But not automatically. Supreme Man said wisdom is two facets, wise words and ways and actions. The activation of these makes supreme culture. You see, when you deal, right, when we say activating, the activation of it, you have to activate it. See, because listen, there's people that come into the knowledge, right, and they fall a victim. It don't mean nothing to them. You see what I'm saying? Like I was saying yesterday, you know what I'm saying? If the knowledge don't bring about no positive change in your life, then you're not one of us. What'd you say? Got tricked last night. When that happened? Alfonso Brown said the preservation process and reasoning of the best parts of the knowledge accumulated. You know, but all of this is something that you have to actually do. You see what I'm saying? Tying it in, like I said, to the science of being God, right? That being the God degree. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of people say you God by nature. But see, whatever a thing is by nature, it still has to at least come into some type of nurture, right? To bring the fullness of that nature out. So the wisdom is what you do with the knowledge. What's going on? You out? Oh, yeah, nah, because I want to, I got to do something over there later on. You understand what I'm saying? The wisdom is what you do. See what I'm saying? Just like I said, you got to speak the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Supreme Man's in here, you know, dealing with the Brownsville method. That's what you have to do. So you can meet somebody, they have the knowledge, right? And you can go around them and they can kick it with you. But you never really do anything. That's one of the major differences between us and religion. See, in religion, you go to the church and you do the knowledge, and then you go home and go back to whatever you was doing. Then you come and you pray and you repent or whatever the thing is in the religion that you come from. You know what I'm saying? I came out of Christianity, so you know the people go and you know you confess or whatever in front of the church, but you don't really activate the signs. You what? Set up home and wait for the mystery God. See, you can't give me understanding. I can't give you understanding. I could tell you about some things that I seen, right? And then you can apply that for yourself, but you gotta apply it. Because see, if you just repeat what I say, then what's gonna happen? Somebody's gonna ask you a question. You know what I'm saying? When if we talking it, if we walking it, some other variable is gonna come into play. You understand what I'm saying? The way I apply the knowledge right here, you understand what I'm saying? In the way you may have to deal with it because of the sun and the moon have attractive power on our planet, right? We know that at different times of day, different times of year, whatever it is, it's having different attracting power on our planet. You see what I'm saying? Meaning, look, it's one time here. It's I'm talking about time zones, right? It's 7 o'clock here, right? It's what 4 o'clock on the West Coast. You see what I'm saying? So if you try to apply everything in my understanding the way it applies right here, because now what you're dealing with didn't come from you, it came from me. You see what I'm saying? That's what you're dealing with when you're dealing with self-style wisdom. It's not that you talking out on your own. You know what I'm saying? Or you just speaking something that you styled on your own, but it's that you are actually the one who's applying that wisdom. You the one who's seen that for yourself. See, because right now you can go somewhere and you can say, well, yeah, Darkim Be Allah said this. And then what's gonna happen when they ask you a question, you're gonna say, well, hold up, I gotta go back and refer to the brother. Who gets sent back? Who gets sent back? This for my brothers that know 120 in here. Who gets sent back? Supreme Man said, Divine James said, knowledge is symbolic. mean by that? Supreme Man said the root of wisdom is wise. All in the business said it has to come from the original man. There is no power without the original man. A car don't start itself. A toilet don't flush itself. You see what I'm saying? So while you have a toilet, right, which is a element of civilized society, if you don't flush it, you're still not going to be civilized because you didn't apply it. Shakim said wisdom is that kinetic energy. Supreme Man said the root of wisdom is wise. In order to be wise, it has to be an accumulation of activity. Again, the key word is activation. And see, activation can only come from you. Tommy Robinson said, like reading a book and putting it back on the shelf. Exactly. And not applying any of the things that you've seen. See, I'm not going to step on no toes like yesterday. I think that's how I got that dislike. You know how they do. What you said? Master student said you still recover. What you still recovering from? He Kareem said I was having a bill on that very thing last night with my boy. I told him respectfully he's stuck in knowledge because he didn't apply it. He never seen it for himself. See, people say you have your own understanding. You know, understanding means to see. If I'm looking at something and I see an elephant and you see a straightening comb, then one of us, our sight is off. SW said you gotta be God, true and living, sunshine your light. Supreme Man said wisdom is to wise your dome by gaining the knowledge of self. Also the wise the dome by teaching them knowledge of self. Musa D came in. Right, SW said the weak and unhealthy. When I said who gets sent back, right? All right, Divine James, I'm gonna get back with that in a minute. Peace to God. Right, original man said those who are not good at producing. Majestic said those who are not good at multiplying. All in the business said unhealthy, weak builders get sent back. Right? But listen, all of those things that y'all said together, right? The unqualified get sent back. Remember, they got to be qualified or disqualified by the doctor. That's who examined them to see if they was healthy, strong, and good breeders. So see, when you unqualified, when somebody asks you a question, you're going to be sent back to the person who told you that. That's where you're going to have to go. What's going on, Ledge? You know, I see you track into the channel. The boss said you have to apply the knowledge. It's the guy right here, Thomas Breland. I know who this is. This is Mark Breland's cousin right here. The boss said you have to apply the knowledge in order to see and receive the best part. Master student said I meant that was a lot. There was a lot happening the last few days, and I got off track a bit. And even I've had my see now, master student. This is why you always gotta, you know, keep knowledge in at the forefront. You got to be able to keep knowledge at the forefront. You understand what I'm saying? You know, that's a part of the wisdom that you applying. That's a part of being wise, right? Is always knowing that knowledge is the foundation. See, because if you don't do that, then you become you always the reaction and never the action. You understand what I'm saying? Because you always something's gonna happen and then you react to that. We got Universal Truth said wisdom is when you speak from and for yourself, your understanding comes through answering and asking questions that are on in 120. Listen, not necessarily questions that are on in 120, but listen, you got to answer. Yeah, that's a law of you happiness right there. It's Thomas Breland. He think I didn't know. Sun God's in the building. What's going on? Yeah, no, I know it is. Supreme Man. You know, here's the thing. You gotta you gotta answer 120 lessons, right, for yourself. See, Elijah, just like I said before, I could give you, I could tell you things that I've drawn up. And then, you can look at that example and apply that. You can look at that example and apply that for yourself. You understand what I'm saying? So those answers that Elijah put there, right? You can look at that example, right? You see what he did. You did your research based on what he wrote there. You should have, if you know, want to talk 120 and show and prove it. But you need to answer 120 lessons for yourself. Because those are just Elijah's answers. And I've been told you I love Elijah. I'm not telling you to change Elijah's answers, but I'm saying that you got to answer them for yourself. You see what I'm saying? Like when I say, what is his own self? How many people in this room answered for themselves, right? And how many people in this room just follow Elijah's answer? You see what I'm saying? See when it says, can the devil fool a Muslim? As W said, wisdom, knowing you don't play basketball with a baseball bat. Right. See, powerful Allah said, we come in the name of Allah, not Elijah Afar. So, listen, like I said yesterday, and the brother said he lived out 120 lessons. Okay, is your name W.F. Muhammad? See, you got to draw up for yourself how the 136, applies to you. That was Fard telling the story of how he came to the wilderness of North America. Kareem said, I had that argument last night too. The 14th degree, his own self is a righteous Muslim. Well, how did that work out? What was the little I guess the blow by blow of how that went down? See, on every level. Even listen, you know, when you're dealing with the lessons, all those dates in there is at the date of that writing. But who wrote the Holy Quran or Bible? So when that history is renewed, who's writing that? And when is it at the date of that writing? If you're the original man that's writing history at the date of that writing, what's those numbers now? See, like I said, you know, in order to make it a lesson, you got to be able to bring it up to date to where it provides solutions for you right now. Not just as a story that only applies 1,000 years ago or whatever amount of time ago they're talking about, 70 years ago, you know, 60 years ago. All of those things, if you were writing the history, then you got to write it about now. Supreme Man said, part of being born is going through those lessons in your own travel, swimming your own 9,000 miles. Yeah, we all got to jump in that water and swim our own 9,000 miles to be complete with what? Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, those three ciphers. It's powerful. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Powerful, crazy, man. Kareem said the brother claims because wisdom isn't a lesson and I don't follow that, I'm not following the lessons correctly. Well, you know, remember we dealt with that yesterday too. When I said that, listen, the word Quran is in the lessons, but there's no ayats and surahs in the lessons. There's Bible verses is in the lessons. So if we go according to the Bible lessons, right, and we research into that, what is it going to tell us? That his own self is a righteous Christian. You see, that's what happens when you don't apply, when the wisdom and understanding don't come from you, and it only comes from the person that you following. See, that's why Jigga 1017, no doubt, that's why Jigga 1017 said, you know, I'm a practitioner of Elijah's teachings. I'm not a follower of Elijah. Allah, you happiness said many don't see that when that was asked, they didn't see it. What is his own self? I own myself. Doesn't it tell you that in the answer to who is the original man? You see that? See, that's when you drawing it up and you applying the wisdom from within yourself. You understand what I'm saying?
You got a class going on in here today?
Yeah.
All right. You here for that class, God?
You know what I'm saying?
All right, he's there.
That's why you got eyesight, right? You got eyesight, what you see on the outside, and you got insight. See, that's how you use your insight, right, to see what it means to you and what's going on.
Hey, Scott.
That's why
Hey, God.
you got the echo. Peace, God.
Peace.
What's up? Hold on, let me see if I can fix this. I gotta see the young guy. 1,000 levels of crack. Got my food right here. I need my stand back. I'm gonna have my I gotta get everything back situated. I gotta get everything back situated how I had it. But hold on, let me catch back up with y'all over here. Y'all know when I start talking. But you know, that's when you're dealing with eyesight and insight. You know what I'm saying? The eyesight is what you're seeing from the outside that's coming in. But the insight is what you applying. Universal truth said living 120 doesn't mean take the lessons literally. That's being stuck in knowledge. Living 120 is how you is seeing how each lesson applies to you, living this culture. I mean, see, living 120, right, is just a tricky. We don't live 120. You understand what I'm saying? You know, now 120 gives us some keys. Oh, still trying to get situated over here. You know, 120 gives you certain keys to life and certain keys to living righteously. But you got to remember, the science of Yakub grafting the devil is a large part of 120. So you don't want to be living 120. See, we live our supreme mathematics, and 120 is a kind of roadmap, you understand what I mean, to show you which way is up, which way is left, which way is right, which way is down, which way is getting sent back. You understand what I'm saying? But you don't want to, live 120. Was this? So the brother you're speaking to is a Muslim, but he knows the black man is God through his study of the Quran and Kabbalah and all this other stuff, but yet still sticks to Orthodox perspective. Now look, remember we dealt with that yesterday too, of what is the importance of actually knowing the degrees, not just knowing 5%, 10%, 85%, but actually knowing the degrees and knowing the descriptions that is given in there. You see what I'm saying? Because a person may consider themselves a 5%, right? But they still worshiping something they cannot see, is invisible. We out here. All right, Allah, you happiness says that's the right sight. Brothers can see everything outside, yet don't see themselves inside. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. And see, when you can only see everything outside, you're never going to get the best part. Because the best part is inside of you. And see, that's another reason, what's the brother's name right here? Universal Truth. That's another reason why you don't live 120. You see what I'm saying? Because the best part is going to come from inside of you, not off the paper. See, remember yesterday we dealt with that too. When I said the knowledge is not a set of facts that you can memorize. So you can study the whole 120, if you want to, deal with the rest of the problem book, whatever it is. The best part is still going to come from inside of you. You see what I'm saying? That's why, look, thousands of people, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people have studied the 120 lessons. But the best part came from Allah. When he studied them, the best part came from within him, which was the understanding of what all that meant. Powerful said to me, knowledge is insight and understanding is eyesight. Now it's the other way. Knowledge is the eyesight. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge means to look. Understanding means to see. See, seeing is something that has to be your power. You understand what I'm saying? You have to understand, like, for instance, look, you could have a person that looks at something, but they don't know what it is. Like, a person could look at gold. You know what I'm saying? A person can look, at something that's a treasure, but they don't have the power to see, which is insight. That's something that's inside of them. That's something that they had to acquire, like brother said, through accumulating the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like Supreme Man was saying, activating that knowledge. That's what gives them the power to see. SW said, I love mathematics, now 120. I use mathematics to make 120 come to life. Real Hip Hop said, is an insight the all-seeing eye. Yeah. Well, insight is what your mind allows you to do. You understand what I'm saying? But then when you deal with insight, like I said, that's broken down into the levels. So they got, we spoke on that yesterday too. Uh, you got microscopic, where you look at something close and you see the details. And then you got telescopic, where you can stand back and see the whole picture. If you look at something through a microscope, you're going to see one level, right, of the greater understanding of what you're looking at. Like right now, if you look at your hand, right, just with your regular eyes, right, you're going to see one thing. But if you look at it with a microscope, you see a whole bunch of things. You see what I'm saying? Now look, you also have when you deal with understanding, right, and insight, right, you also got hindsight and you got foresight. See? Now how they say, hindsight is 2020. You see what I'm saying? But how many people got the power to see the knowledge and wisdom? You understand what I mean? Which may not be evident right there to the what? Naked eye. You have to be able to what? Draw up the fine minutes. So all of these is different levels of understanding that you have to apply in order to get to the best part. 793rd came in. Brahim, Lord Shallah. Oh. Hold up, I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to catch up with y'all. Y'all know. Serious mathematics. I think. Original man, our God said, I apply 120 to many things, but don't base my life on a conversation between Master Farad Muhammad and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Now you always have that insight. Every time you see fire, you know the person. You look back and remember that.
Right, as W said, to look and observe versus your perception. Okay, Universal Truth said living 120 is not to say living according to 120. Only that 120 is the truth, and each lesson is relatable to life. The best part is reading in between the lines and finding meaning within yourself. Nah, that's not really living 120. You know what I'm saying? Well, I asked you a question, right? How do you apply the wisdom, ability, destroy degree to your life? You know, when you say you live in it, you know, I don't see myself in that degree. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm the one that pulls the pins out. And I'm the black baby. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not in that degree. When I examine, I'm not qualifying you, disqualifying you to no minister. I'm saying if you qualify yourself or disqualify yourself to be around me. The original man, like God said, knowledge is also foresight. Due to knowledge and understanding is hindsight. Hindsight is 2020. No. See, doing the knowledge, that's you just dealing with regular sight. That's sight, meaning like something that I see right now in the real time, right? I do the knowledge to it. You understand what I'm saying? Hindsight, if understanding is hindsight, but see, everybody got 2020 hindsight. But see, this is what I'm saying about foresight, right? When Allah said, listen, I'm going to build a nation and I'm going to teach the young who they are and they're going to rise to the top and be successful, right? Everybody around him ain't see that. Everybody around him ain't see that. See, that's foresight. See, foresight means you see something before it's evident to the naked eye. Supreme Man said, insight is internally seeing something clearly, therefore guiding your decision before you act. Powerful said, understanding is insight and knowledge is eyesight, because when you see something, you know what it is. Exactly. True 120. Kareem said, I told the brother I can't deal with what he was talking about because it doesn't have saving power. Yeah, because he's never gonna activate. He's never gonna activate. And like I said, the savior is always gonna come from the people. So, you're going to continue to tell people to set up home. Yeah, we're about to get into that right now, Lord Shalak. Yeah, universal truth. You just hit something on the head. But see, I had to finish my thought, what I was saying. See a side rally developing. SW say good old God, pin removal services. In a jiffy. Now 120 is the questions and answers. The 120 is what came from Elijah and Father. Supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet is supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet. Yeah, but now we matter of fact, oh man, let me plug in, man. See, y'all see, I'm back. I'm back to my old tricks over here. I need to plug in before I cut off. Whoa. Let's see. Let me get the guy. So we get back to the young guy. But yeah, we're gonna wait till they finish over here at the map, and then we're gonna build the young brother. Anybody got any questions though in the meantime while they finish wrapping up over there? Yeah, that's a good point. Wise you that 120 lessons, there's 120 of them. But depending, if you got the knowledge, at this certain point, you may have 122 of them, but then two of them are repeated. Those two that some brothers have, right? That is the 11th degree, the 12th degree and the 13th degree in the actual facts. Some brothers only got 11 degrees in the actual facts, and some brothers got 11 degrees, and then it says add on facts, and then they got the 12th and the 13th degree. Universal Truth said the wisdom ability degree is about structure and standards. If Yaqub had those things in place while manufacturing the devil, I should have just as much or better when building my own life. I see what you're saying. I don't get me wrong. That when it tells you that Yaqub is successful, right, and all this undertaking, yes, it's also telling you about success. It's telling you about being focused. You see what I'm saying? If they disobey any of the laws, they pay with their lives. You understand what I'm saying? So it's telling you about being focused, you know what I mean? Not going off track. Like if you go to school to learn, you know what I'm saying? Don't get caught up with the cool crowd, you know what I'm saying? Doing things that, that's not involved with that. I see you said Lushala. Vertal Ruff is new to the channel. Where you from, Vertal Ruff? God save you divine. Oh, all right. Yeah, now his born is over here. But peace, black man. What's the deal, man? So since you've been studying, the science of yourself, you got any questions? Now I'm talking about just all in all, you know what I'm saying? Like since you've been from, knowledge in the mathematics all the way up to where you at right now.
With the alphabet, knowing which letters without like looking on a piece of paper.
Well, that part is just a memorization of it. You know what I'm saying? But see, mathematics, right? Supreme mathematics, you see knowledge, wisdom, understanding, all the way to born, right? Is how we make an idea come into reality. You see what I'm saying? Like anything that you want to do, let's say you want to go outside and play, right? You know what I mean? Let's say you want to play basketball. You see what I'm saying? That idea that you have, everything that you do all the way until you get to the court, that's supreme mathematics. You see what I'm saying? Like for instance, if you say, okay, I want to play basketball, so you get dressed, you take your basketball out with you, that's the wisdom. You understand what I'm saying? You know, now, when understanding, that's now okay, you on your way, right? If you know the enlightenment, right, which is our national anthem, it tells you that the understanding shows you that you're on your way. You understand what I mean? The picture becomes clear of what you're doing. See what I'm saying? When you get to the set and you actually start playing the basketball, that's the culture. That's living it out. And you're not going to be able to do that unless you have freedom. You have to have freedom of your own thoughts, and you have to have freedom of your body. You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons why you want to avoid jail. You see what I'm saying? Because when you don't have your freedom, your mathematics can never be complete. You see what I'm saying?
You understand that? Yeah.
And then you know what I'm saying, as you out there and you living it out, right? When you scoring, when you playing defense, these are the things that you have the power to do. You understand what I'm saying? And you refine your skills, you hone your skills, you get better and better. You understand what I'm saying? And as you get better and better, you show your equality. That's the equality that people see about you. So when you come to the court, right, your equality, right, how you demonstrated your power, that's like, yo, sometimes you know that kid that come to the court, and as soon as you walk in the court, people be like, yo, you playing? See, that's his equality, because everybody knows, everybody knows that he's nice.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? And see, all the things what I'm telling you, man, this is the science of who you are. When you do all those things, you showed and proved that you was God in that cipher, right? But you still not finished. See, now you got the bill. Now, where you gonna take that from there? You understand what I'm saying? You might keep building until you get a scholarship in that thing. You understand what I mean? Or maybe you just wanna stay in shape. So you keep playing ball. Maybe it's just something that you enjoy, recreation for you. You understand what I'm saying? If you stop playing, then what? It's going to be destroyed. Your talents and everything is going to deteriorate.
Like how we said, like you ain't working on your jet, man. You got practice, like you got basketball. Like how you gonna play ball?
You understand what I'm saying? And see all of that, man, right? That's now you complete the cipher. You understand what I'm saying? You build to be born. You see what I'm saying? Then once you complete that cipher, right? You went from 1 to 9, right? What comes after 9? No, just regular counting. We're not being fancy. What comes after 9? 10. See, your knowledge added the cipher now. From that first thought, where you said you wanted to go out and play basketball, and you went all the way to being born complete, now your knowledge added the cipher. Now that's just one situation. We just went through one cipher, you know what I mean? But everything that you're dealing with, right? Every place you go, every person you come in tune with, every situation and circumstance you in is a cipher. and you gotta apply the mathematics. That's what we drawing up. That's why when you see we be building and we going through everything we going through, we talking out different ciphers, so then we can walk them out. You understand what I'm saying? So now you got any questions about that?
Yes, what I was going to say. If I was to play basketball, and then I have a basketball and I go to the court, and then somebody automatically says that he wants winners on this team because I'm good.
That's because of the equality that you've shown through what you've been doing. You see what I'm saying? They see
having the thought to get yourself together to go play, to go in the play, to playing a lot, you know what I'm saying? You making it a practice that you play, then getting better, so improving the power that you can play. Now everybody seeing you play, that's the equality. You know what I mean? You gotta speak up. Okay. So what's your question?
The question is how like a regular person that nobody ever seen before comes and they automatically say that he was hurt and they have a
most of the time that ain't gonna happen. if
so they don't know what he's good at, but he just what he was doing.
Look, this is why something like that might happen. The person may come to the court and you see that they real tall. You see what I'm saying? But that's still you acknowledging their equality. That's something that they bring into the game. But generally speaking, if you don't know a guy, you're not gonna pick him first. You're gonna wait until you picked all the guys that you know. And then if you got 1 or 2 spots left, you might say, all right, yeah, I got him.
Now, to what you were saying about like, you were saying like a person that don't nobody know, but somebody might know him, and they'll pick them. This is their first time to the park because they heard about them playing somewhere else.
That's still the equality, though. The equality, they've shown their power right to the point where their equality travels. People know about them over there and over there because of how much power that they've shown.
Remember when I used to say, remember when I used to be like, who they gonna be talking about? Breathing with the waves? Remember? That was your thing. That's how people knew you. Like you had your thing together. You feel me? So even people who didn't know you, they probably your waves been better than my man Brown. You know what I'm saying? That's equality. You get it?
Yeah.
Ask it. I see you got a question. You can see it, right? Look, man, you 12 years old. It's a big man. I know the question. Yeah. That's the only way you're going to get the answer, baby.
And I'm not sure they said that. It was that I was just remembering that like at school there was one kid who I didn't know he seen me around. So then I got pushed. He said, "Oh, I see you before." And I was like, "Where?" And he said, "I know you because I like I have waves and that I don't have them anymore." So.
See, he knew you could have waves and you didn't even have them. That's what I'm saying. See, that's how you show and prove. And he still remembers you from having waves and you didn't even have them. And that's his thing too, guys.
Yeah.
The waves. Oh man, he got all the greases, all the brushes. Look, like I didn't have that kind of focus when I was that young. Like I had that patience, man. Like, he watched all the videos. You feel me? You know what I mean?
You into the wave. You into the 360 waves.
Like he hurting now. He get there and hair looking like that.
Yeah.
You can't wait to get that thing cut.
Lord Shalai is saying, you ain't asking trick questions, Lord Shalai. 366 degrees is illusion, man. I don't know why nobody didn't answer that already.
You got the bar still in there?
Yeah, don't let him. Don't let him. Don't let him.
I'm about to go down there and check the gun out this weekend.
366 degrees don't exist.
I'm about to go check the bar out this weekend.
Oh, the bar down in Baltimore?
Yeah. It's the Wisdom Bar Day, so we're going down there. And I'm going to Delaware third Saturday. I think it's like the weekend of the 18th.
When next month?
Yeah, July. They have the rally down there. Original and I sincerely tell me we met at the Father's Day thing.
I see.
You want to rock? I'll pick you up in Philly.
You see, Lord Shalai. Yeah,
praise, peace.
When
Supreme nature.
when y'all do y'all side rallies, I need to go with Lord Shalai. Yeah, 122 times 3 is 366, Lord Shalai.
Capital Dover. It's Dover, right? It's Wilmington.
Delaware? Yeah.
I think it was. You know, it's like I never knew that the capital of Georgia was Atlanta. I thought it was Savannah for the longest time.
Right, a lot of places that's like that.
Like it changed or something. Like I don't know why I thought it was Savannah for the longest time.
Yeah, like look, I thought Newark was the capital of Jersey for the longest time. I thought, yeah, that happens. You know what I mean? But you know, geography is something that you gotta know. You see what I mean? Because we know every square inch of the planet Earth. You know what I mean? Like, you studying lessons yet? And when you start studying your lessons, you know what I mean, you're gonna learn that it's 196,940,000 square miles on the whole planet Earth. You see what I mean? But then as you keep going through the lessons, you're gonna get into more and more detail. You see what I mean? When you learn that it's 139,685,000 square miles of water, 57,255,000 square miles of land. You see what I mean?
Then you break that land.
Yeah.
Then break the border down.
And all of those things.
So how is that so the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean? Right? What's that? Oh yeah, man. So yeah. That was light and sound. We talking about light and sound. We talking about remember I think it was me and all the business we was building, we saying how much faster that light was than sound. And I had to do the math to it. And I was showing him, I was like, you think you'll be able to do this one day? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, it was looking like it. Then I showed him how easy it was. Because, you know, nowadays, like the way they teach math in school is crazy.
Yeah, listen, you know,
it's confusing.
Yeah, I was helping my nephew with his homework one time. And it was like, you know, he was trying to show me the way that they showed him, and it was like, why would I do all that?
I just carried it.
Yeah, show me they got some system where it's like back in the days when you know your parents be checking your homework and something be wrong, and like, nah, it must be that new math. Now they really do got that new math.
Like, cause when you know, I started like getting involved with math. I like math. You know what I'm saying? And math was one of his trouble subjects. But now he got an A because when he finished this year out on the homeschool, he got an A. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
but in school, he was finding it hard to get past his C because they made it so confusing.
Right.
And they weren't taking the time to show them the basics. Even when they sent them the stuff on the computer, like, no, ain't nobody gonna understand these directions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because then you give them directions, like, okay, what's the answer? Like, the answer to what? Like, what's the problem? How do you get the answer? I don't know the problem. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, one thing they do with that, you know, I don't know, you know, could be on purpose. But see, what they do, they destroy the natural propensity in the child to learn.
Real talk.
You understand what I'm saying?
And I think it is on purpose. The school went from being like a learning institution to like a structure institution. It's more about like method and following directions, not what you learn. Just are you following directions?
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because like my man, he was telling me like he was helping his daughter with her homework, and they had to show the work, and she was showing the teacher the way that he taught her. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, okay, you got the right answers, but this not how you do. This not how you figure it out.
Yeah. You know, they've turned, from what I've seen of it, you know, they turned mathematics from a hard science into a soft science. You know what I mean? Where, you know, see, mathematics is concrete. It don't change. You understand what I mean? See, that's one of the, that's another thing that will help you with knowing about mathematics. See, mathematics is infinite, right? Meaning there's no highest number, there's no lowest number, right? Which me myself, the highest number is 1. But I'm saying as you counting, there's no end to the numbers. You understand what I'm saying? However, it's infinite, right? But it's definite. See, definite means that 1 can only be 1. You see what I mean? Like if you go to the store and you get a man a $10 bill, it's not 5 different things he can give you and that's your change. You understand what I mean? If you give him a $10 bill, right, and the thing costs $1, he can't give you back $8. It's not the same as 9. 9 can only be 9, and 8 can only be 8. See, it's not like, you know, when you're dealing with other classes like English, right? They could say, you know, he crossed the river. Now that could be symbolism for a whole bunch of things.
Even if you're dealing with birds, say deer.
Yeah.
Like which one?
Right. You can mean a deer, like a mammal, you know what I mean, with the you know, or you could mean deer, you know what I'm saying, DEAR, like you know, your girlfriend or something, you call it deer. You see what I'm saying? Or like you said, when you're dealing with words, right now the number 8 can only be 8. But see, as a word, do I mean 8 the number? Or do I mean I ate some food? You see what I'm saying? So see, that's why it's important to use mathematics, see, because it's infinite, meaning you ain't never gonna run out of the ability to see everything around you when you know how they relate mathematically, right? But at the same time, you ain't gonna get confused no matter how many numbers, no matter how complex the situation get. You know what I mean? So, you know, if I could give you 2 times 2, that's 4. I can give you 222 times 222. It's still going to be the same mathematics that you got to apply. You understand what I'm saying? It's not going to change. So this is why, or this is one of the characteristics, right, that demonstrate why mathematics, supreme mathematics, right, is the foundation of everything that exists. You see what I mean? And we say supreme mathematics because it has meaning. See,
it ain't just a number or a numeral. It's also a principle. Like 1 is knowledge. That's the principle. That's the basic. Just like 1 is the first number, knowledge is the first principle of life. You understand? Knowledge is what? To know. Before you can do anything, you have to have knowledge. Before you have the knowledge, you got to do the knowledge. Look, observe, respect. Like, listen, somebody talking about something you don't know, you be quiet and listen. That's doing the knowledge. Everything you ever, like you said, anything you ever want to do in life, you have to do what? Think about it first, right? So that's the first thing. Then after you think about it, if it's something you want to go with, then you gotta apply it. That's wisdom. That's application of knowledge.
See, that's why you want to.
Always got to start at the knowledge part.
Yeah, that's why.
Always got to start at the knowledge.
That's why you want to study your mathematics and be sharp with those. You see what I'm saying? Then you get into your alphabet. So that's how you communicate the mathematics. You know what I'm saying? To everybody in the world, we gotta speak a certain dialect of the mathematics. You see what I mean? So right now we got Supreme Alphabet, right? Is based on English. But if you go to a different country where they speak in a different language, right? You gotta be able to manifest the mathematics in that language.
You know, that's a question I ask people a lot. How many languages do they know? And a lot of times, the answer would be one or two. And then I ask them, what are they? And they say, well, that's English, a little bit of Spanish. And I'm like, they're not languages, they're tongues. Language is a vehicle for communication. And they say most communication is 8% nonverbal.
Right. That's a whole other language. Body language.
You got body language. There's languages in the language. Like you can tell when a person angry, when a person happy. You know what I'm saying? There's languages in the language. And you notice, anytime they teach you different tongue, they always tell you to pronounce the word, you gotta move your tongue like this. You gotta make your tongue go like that.
Right, yeah. And you know, that's one of those things that, you know, when you get to school, you know what I'm saying? When you at the house, you know, you learn, just like I said, you know, children are naturally curious. You understand what I'm saying? You know, they go through the phase, yo, what's this, what's that, you know, what's this, what's that, you know, how you do this, how you do that. But that's why I said, when they go in there at a certain period of time, the whole love of learning and the desire to do it can be destroyed. You see what I'm saying?
And just like that.
Yeah.
Just like that. Like that's one of the, like, because you're making the baby, that's why I said there's no such thing as a learning disability. Babies teach themselves everything. Everything we learn, we teach ourselves. Babies teach themselves how to walk, how to talk, how to eat. So if you teach your disabilities, they don't know how to connect to the student to get them to understand the curriculum. So they blame it on the student and not the teacher. Because they say this is the way that everybody should be able to figure it out. So if you can't figure it out, it's your problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's another thing. You know what I mean? When you deal with you know, and that's something that, you know, you need to observe about yourself, right? Is that different people learn in different ways. You know what I'm saying? Like some people, you can just tell them something and they can just hear you, right? And they can learn it. You know what I mean? Some people, they can look at things, you got to show them something. You know what I'm saying? And when they see it, then they'll know what it is. There's some people that got to be hands-on. You got to show them something that they can do, and then they'll learn. You understand what I'm saying? And by the same token, you know, a lot of the ways you can tell that is by how you activate your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And the type of knowledge that you activate. Like, see, people that draw pictures, that's a certain kind of way that they brain work. Now, you can train you can learn how to draw, meaning you train your brain to analyze space and distance in a certain kind of way. You understand what I'm saying? You know, some people, you know, you might be good at music, or you might like a lot of songs, or, you know, that's people that the way they express themselves, you know what I'm saying, what's easiest for them is dealing with sound. You understand what I'm saying? You know, you got people who, for instance, if you would go to medical school and become a doctor, right? They show you certain things, right, in the book. You learn certain things in the class and everything. But at the end of the day, when you become an intern, you still got to practice hands-on. That's why when you go to a doctor's office, they say it's a practice. You first got to be an intern before you a doctor, because that's something that's so important, right? Dealing with people's health, that you got to learn it in all the ways.
And you gotta daily repetition.
You see what I'm saying? Because, yeah.
So you saying that was something that I used to say to him too. Like I said, he got his hair. He was mad about his hair. So I'm like, you get that same focus that you use for that, you can use for other things and learn other things.
Right.
Don't just be so. Don't just focus on that. Now you got that down. That's you. You got to be able to use that same. You can use that same focus and learn other things.
Mm-hmm.
You put that same energy like that. It was doing school. I'm like, if your grades like this, I was like, you come home with like a D or something happened. I was like, you come home with another one of these. I don't want to see you in there brushing your hand. You got other shit. You got other stuff you need to worry about now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what you got to do that? You got to, you ever heard the saying, keep your eyes on the prize? So keep your eyes on the prize. That means that, you know, you're doing something for a particular goal. That's the best part, right? That's the understanding that you're trying to get to. You got to remain focused on that. You see what I'm saying? Because you see, all types of trials and tribulations is going to come in your way, right? Now look, you know the alphabet yet? All right. Now look, what's the 12th letter? That's not 12.
Yeah.
Love,
Can't remember. Say you can't remember. Keep the conversation.
Right. Now look, it's love, hell, or right.
Let me ask you, what's the 12th letter?
Yeah, actually, it's L.
Yeah.
And L is for love, hell, or right.
Like you said, we ain't being fancy. We being basic.
Now look, 12, right, is 1 and 2. When you add 1 and 2, what you get? And 3 is the understanding, like I just said. Now look, you got to keep in mind what it is that you love about whatever cipher you're going through when you start going through the hell that's involved with that. You understand what I'm saying? And see, a lot of times, like even going to school, right? Right now, you're already old enough, you got to start thinking about, okay, what you want to be. You understand what I'm saying? So now, when you're going through the trials and tribulations, that's keeping your eyes on the prize. So you may have a lot of homework today, right? And you may want to say, man, listen, man, I ain't doing the rest of this, man. I'm going to tell them I'm finished. You know what I'm saying? But see, if you do that, you're not going to ever come out right. You understand what I'm saying? So just in general, as you going through all of life, you got to love yourself no matter what hells that you're going through, what trials and tribulations, what things that may be going wrong all around you, right? You got to love yourself so that you will always come out right. That's keeping your eyes on the prize. You see what I'm saying? Because like we were saying all day in here, right, is that you the best part. You see what I'm saying? There's going to be a whole bunch of things that's out there for you to get caught up in. Some people fall in love with the hell. You know what I'm saying? And you may see somebody that they dealing with drugs, they love the drugs more than they love themselves. So they remain in hell and never come out right. So that's what keep your eyes on the prize means. It means that whatever you're doing, right? Know what you're doing that for. What's the outcome that you want to get from that?
And how you gonna get there?
You see what I'm saying? Because otherwise you'll get caught up in things, right? And then the outcome might be bad. Because you only looked as far as the hell. You didn't look to what is the actual jewel that you want to get from this. You see what I mean? And that'll make your decision on what kind of hell you ready to go through. You understand what I'm saying? Like there's some things that you already know. All right, this ain't gonna get me where I need to go. I'm not going to be done with that.
A good example. I let him put himself on punishment that time. Because he did something, and I'm like, okay, how can I deal with it? Like I want his mom to lash out. You know what I mean? Like he's a little boy now. He can't let him get away with everything. Like he got lash out a couple times. So I'm like, okay, wait, I can't lash out. So let me see what I'm gonna do. All right, put him in a parental position. If you was a parent and your child did that, how would you feel? What would you do? What would you think would be a sufficient punishment if the child did those things that you did? And when he said it, I'm like, okay, that's a punishment. like that's how, you know what I mean? Now he learned from that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I know like he gets to beat himself up sometimes, like if he don't figure something out, he'll beat himself up, then he, like you said, you gotta love yourself through the hell.
Yeah.
Like you gonna be all right, baby boy. You gonna be all right. You're only 12. Like I tell him, like 12-year-old say I have no stress. You know what I mean? Every day I ask him how you doing. He say doing good. I say okay. That means I'm doing my job. So you ain't got no stress. You ain't got to worry about food, clothing, or shelter. You ain't got to worry about you. That shit will be too much. It's only you.
So how about now? You got any questions?
You
See, that's what I like to tell people is that see how when I teach, I teach so clearly that there's no question.
You deal with the hot times. You deal with the hot times. We all understand.
I just wanted to pop in just to say peace and peace on what you're doing. Peace to the dog. Peace on
Word of God.
Peace, God.
Word of God.
No doubt.
You coming through, God.
No doubt, Lord. Peace, God.
That's a powerful name right there. Word of God.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Like, and that's how like I say, like I know, like my daughter about to be 21 this year, and I know I can say probably the best thing I probably did for her was every time I gave her a whooping, she had to tell me why. I set the rules, so it's agreed what's gonna happen if things don't go the way they're supposed to go. So if they don't go the way they're supposed to go, then we're gonna talk about it. Now what did I say? What did you do? Now what do I have to do? Feel me? I went, look, we was out here last week, at the weekend, right? We rode bikes. We rode all the way down to the what you call it? To the world, what was that? Yeah, the 10,000 Memorial, right? And it was, now I'm out there, and it's like we all looking at different things, right? The way that she's looking at all the trees, and she was like when you look at these trees, you can see 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, it probably was about 15. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how she was like, when you look at it, they're all the same size, they're all the same height. You know what I'm saying? She was like, and I was like, damn. Like, I wouldn't even have thought about that, right?
I wouldn't have thought about it, but she's right. Everything over there got everything over there got
Real
reset.
talk, real talk. Like what I thought about was like, damn, these buildings was that close together. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm thinking about. Cause I remember when I first seen the World Trade Center, I looked up and got dizzy. You know what I'm saying? Like then I'm looking, I'm like, these buildings was that close together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we walking back, like we rode from 31st and 7th Ave. We jumped on the bikes, the little city bikes. You know what I'm saying? Rode all the way down there and then walked all the way back up.
Yeah. So
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like we had it with the dudes, you know, it was cool because like that was the first time I did something like that. Like I used to think that was kind of corny, like touristy. But that shit was fun. It was fun.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? And
in New York, like most people that's from New York have never been to any of the places. You know what I'm saying? Like you might went to the Statue of Liberty, you know, when you was real little, but like World Trade Center, Empire State. But if you from New York, you probably never been.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, like he about to be homeschooled now, so now he goes to school and go. School ain't a building no more. Now school is learning. It's schooling. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't gotta just associate school with being in a building. School is if you learning, you in school. So now he gonna get a chance to learn on the road. Take his little computer with him, do his little classes, and he can learn about the cities we go to, all these different things. You know what I mean? Like I ain't had that when I was his age. You know what I'm saying? So I acknowledge my wisdom so I can make sure I'm here to be that for him. I ain't out here doing nothing stupid that can take that away from him.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's a blessing he got. When I ain't come to New York for the first time until I was like 15.
That's just, you know. But let me ask you a question. What's your righteous name?
I don't have one yet, but I'm still
Yeah, think on that. You see, you got to think about what your strength is and what you wanna build. You understand what I'm saying? So that name actually means something for you. When people see you, that's what they see.
You understand that? What he said? What he said?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's known to
Not,
you.
not just your name to be known, but for you to be known as who you say you are. Like me, I say my name now, it's born Allah. I mean, true living God. I can't be out here doing no crazy stuff, snatching purses and beating up ladies, and I can't be doing all that. My name now is born Allah.
Yeah. What you want to manifest in reality. You know what I'm saying? What, you know, like right now, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying just but you know, you wise. Like you listen, you know what I'm saying, and you analyze things. You see what I mean? That's a characteristic that's one characteristic that you have. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta look at all those things, man, and then see what you want your name to be. So that's very important. You know, when I was getting knowledge, you know, it was common for people to say that a good name is better than gold. See, because that's a part of knowing who you are. You see what I'm saying? And then once you choose that name, you know everything about it. How many letters is in it? You know, when you look at that in the alphabet and you draw up the mathematics with that name borns, you understand what I'm saying? Because you don't want a name, right? You know, when you say any word, right? Like right now, you're sitting on a chair, right? But the word chair is not a chair. The word chair just puts an idea in your mind of the reality of what a chair is. You understand what I'm saying? So when a person say this, like when you talk about the waves and people knew you for the waves. So now look, there's probably some people that call you, yo, waves, yo, 360 or whatever. You see what I mean? They call you by that because that's what you manifest. You see what I mean? Like people that's tall, people that's skinny, they might call them slim. Because what they calling them is that idea brings you to exactly who that person is. So as you choosing your name, right? That's what you need to look at. But that's very important because see who you are, right? In your mindset, you know what I'm saying? Who you are to yourself, right? Is going to determine what and how you do in life. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning like you know, let's take LeBron James. He's a basketball player. But if he went and tried to play baseball, he might not be that good. You see what I'm saying? He's got to know who he is. And that's going to tell him how to apply himself to everything that he's doing. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, you know, if your name was Wise, right? Then you know, all right, when I come into say, all right, I'm gonna do the knowledge. I'm looking, I'm observing. That's how I relate. I don't go in and just start running my mouth because I'm wise. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, like my name is Darkim Be AllahChrist. So see, when I go into anything, look, I don't want to deal with the undoings. I don't want to. I'm dealing with the top. I'm dealing with the best. You understand what I'm saying? See, when you got a slave mentality, right? If you think you a slave, that's one of the reasons why they was willing to put up with the stuff that they was putting up with, because that's how they saw themselves. You understand what I'm saying? But when you see yourself as the Most High, right? Then you know that the best part is for you. So see, you come in, see right now, just in your age, right? You're 12 now, you about to be 13, that's a master. See, you mastered certain things about being a little kid. Like, you know the fire is hot and water is wet. You know what happens if you jump off to something too high, you're going to get hurt. You see what I'm saying? Now you got to start to put all these lessons together in life. You see what I'm saying? To show and prove that you a master. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, you reaching the age where there's certain things that somebody might do. Like, oh man, like for instance, at your age right now, if somebody wet their pants, you're like, yo, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, if a little baby, 2 or 3 years old, did that, you got, yo, the baby did that, yo, they got to get him cleaned up. You see what I mean? Because the baby hasn't been through all them stages of learning that. You see what I'm saying? But now you begin to formulate your own way of life, man, and how you want to be. See what I'm saying? Like, for instance, you know, before your mom's put whatever on the plate, right? What you said? Yeah, that's true. That's true, Shala. You know what I'm saying? You know, your moms might put whatever on your plate. But see, now you reach a certain age where you like, yo, you know what? I don't really like that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, you know, everybody in my family eat onions. I don't like onions. You understand what I'm saying? I don't like the way it tastes. It's not that it's not right and exact. I just don't like the way it tastes. You understand what I'm saying? You start to, you know, when you know, right now, your parents might say, yo, I'm gonna take you to the movies. And they take you to the movie they like to see. You understand what I'm saying? But in a couple of years, you're gonna be going with your friends and you're gonna go see the kind of movies that you like to see. You understand what I'm saying? And that your peers, when y'all put y'all head together and say, yo, what we gonna go see? You see what I'm saying?
Like how you and your boys hit each other on the phone, say, what's up, you wanna go to the park? Y'all get together and go to the park. You know what I mean? Like, one of the things when I first met him, right? I told him, I was like he had got in trouble like a couple of days after I met him. And then like he was real uncomfortable around the crib because he was messed up. So I let him know, I was like, once you start being comfortable, you start being confident. And like the more comfortable you start being, like his confidence starts showing. Like I seen this kid, like I know him for about like 2 years, almost 2 years now, right? So like I seen him go from like just a quiet kid to now he talk, he you know what I mean, he laugh, he point out stuff, you know what I mean? Before he just was in his phone or whatever, just let the world go by. And it's funny, like if we were dealing with him reports, and I'm like, so what made you start messing with me? Like, you know what I mean? He was like, and I'm saying in my head, but I'm going to answer the question for him. And he said the same thing I was thinking. He was like, because like I just started seeing like you was going to be around. It makes it look like you was going to be around for a minute. So I just said, I'm about to see what's up with you.
Yeah, see, now look, that's wise. Acknowledge you first. You know what I'm saying? I look at you like, all right, I see what's going on here. You understand what I'm saying? See, that's what wise means, man, that you always do the knowledge first. You see what I'm saying? Before you start talking and doing and all that. You see what I'm saying? That's a characteristic that you show a lot. You know what I'm saying? Even in science of, learning how to do the waves and all of that. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people just see other people with the waves and you just try to get it. You don't really do the knowledge and pay attention. You understand what I mean? And how to really do it right. Because they're not wise. You see what I'm saying? So
they haven't applied their knowledge.
They can't write the history that you could write. You understand what I'm saying? I tell you, I gotta go to the store and get some liquid, man. 10,000 degrees here. I'm about to take that. I'm about to take that. Now I'm about to take that fan from in there. They still out there with that fan? Somebody. I mean, where's the remote for this? For the AC, man? That's crazy. But Supreme Man, you still in there?
I thought you were having classes in yoga like you did yesterday. Burning up.
Yeah, yesterday, right.
I didn't catch it. I started building with the wisdom. I seen you was outside when you were talking about.
Hold on for a second. Let's see if anybody got a jewel for the young guy while I go to the store real quick. Supreme Man, you still in the room?
Supreme Man, peace to God. Amen.
Because this we gotta wind it down. When you're dealing with the young, you don't want to lecture. See what I mean?
He schooled me on that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough for him to digest now. See what I'm saying? Lord Shalom, I tell you, that's how they used to do it. All right, now go play. Hey, Josh Jr., all right, now go play. Man, we about to do some grown man stuff. Yeah, he's got to go and apply that science that we actually tell him. You know what I mean? You don't want to get him so much that then man, I can't recall what you said now. It's better they have a little at a time and master that.
Look, we had the gathering, right? When we had the gathering, right? We had sent them take a walk and inside.
Yeah.
And look, and it was me, the wisdom, and Saquon. We sitting in the whip, we sitting in the car, and we like, watch, somebody about to get him. I'm like, he's 12. I said, go down there with the old head. Saquon was like, nah, don't sit him down there.
Listen, man.
So we laughed around like somebody about to get him. He fresh me down here.
Listen, man, as serious as all of the stuff that we saying is, you know what I mean? And you know, this is important because look, you know, these you forming the whole rest of your life.
Amen.
You understand what I'm saying? With what's going on. So yeah, this stuff is important, but don't forget to be a kid, you know what I mean? A young man. Don't forget to have fun, man, and enjoy life. You understand what I mean? These things right here that you learning, you know what I mean? That's to keep you, you know what I mean, on the side of righteousness. You understand what I'm saying? But going out and enjoying yourself, man, and being young, don't forget to do that.
Like a lot of times people forget, man, that justice is also a reward.
Right.
People always think about justice being a penalty. You gotta serve justice. Like you gotta serve justice as a reward too.
Right.
Like right now, he did good in school. We don't mess with him with what time he come in. He let him figure it out. You know, if it's too late, we'll say something. He figured it out. That's his reward. You get the responsibility of taking that on. Now, if you mess up, that because you did the right thing, you get more responsibility.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, that's what made me think. And that's what, like, when we was walking back, we went past the federal courthouse. And on the courthouse, it's saying that administration of justice is the first pillar of governance.
Mm. Yeah, I seen that.
Right? And when we walk, I'm telling the wisdom, I'm telling her, you know what that means? I was like, see, you his mother, you govern over him. So that means that if he do something bad, you got to make sure he get punished for that so he know not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And if he do something good, you got to make sure he get rewarded.
Yeah.
That's the administration of justice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you're doing the knowledge, that means you can't just see the bad if you're doing the knowledge.
Right.
You can't just see the bad.
Yeah, a lot of and you're right. A lot of things get left out of the definition of justice.
Like when people talk about serving universal justice, like why gotta be a beatdown? Why can't be everybody get together and teach him something? Right.
You know, and you know, one thing I
I'm out, man.
all right, no doubt.
I'm saying,
You know, that's one thing that you know, justice is a penalty or reward for one's deeds, actions, ideas, inactions. Yes, I mean, there's some things you're supposed to do that if you don't do that, you're going to, yes, what I'm saying? See, a lot of times we look at it with too narrow of a scope, you see what I mean? And then we don't understand that things was happening to us. You see what I mean? Because you like, yo, you didn't do nothing. You didn't do nothing. Yeah, you didn't do nothing. That's why. Yes. Like, yo, why would I didn't do that? Because you didn't do that.
Like you ain't even doing yourself no justice. You can't wake yourself up.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's something that a lot of people leave out and don't realize that that's a part of the science that's going on with that too. You know what I mean? We got all of the business coming in right now. So, does anybody have any questions? Let me turn the volume. Yeah, does anybody have any questions about any of the stuff I've been building on? We had a night, we've been building for like an hour.
Peace.
Who's
the earth?
Who?
My earth.
Oh, all right.
See the light limb come out.
Does anybody have any questions on what we've been going through? Because master student, you still in there? I hope you was paying attention to what we was going through, because you said you were on the outskirts, and you were without having walked with God. So some of these things that I was building with him on, you need to observe that too. You still in
Yeah,
there, Master
gotta
Teacher?
be sincere. You gotta be sincere about anything you're doing. And you gotta be compassionate about the things that you're doing in order for you to bring forth your greatest ability. When you being a student, you gotta put forth the best effort. You have to actually care about that which you're learning in order for you to express your understanding. Once you begin expressing your understanding with your words and your actions, others are going to begin to see the power within you. And then, you know, it keeps going, man. Mathematics don't stop. For the young guy, man, just in the alphabet, the wisdom understanding degree is wisdom. So that wisdom is when you saying and you doing things to actually do that with understanding. Like, for example, you don't know what nobody's going through. You don't know what nobody went through today. And if you say the wrong thing to them, if you speak without having an understanding of what they're going through, yo, that situation could go downhill. But if you speak to them with understanding now, you're going to help this person get over that hill that they're trying to get over. You're going to help them get over that obstacle, get through those hills and mountains. But that's something I could drop on him, because that's the best thing in the world, man. Seeing the youth sitting there learning and building with the guys, man, that's wisdom understanding. To teach the babies, to teach the youth, wisdom understanding. The wisdom is the teaching, the understanding is the best part. The best part is the babies. So that's who you got to teach. And that's how we're going to continue to get stronger and have abilities that, we not going to be able to see. It's going to be the youth that come after us are going to do things that we never thought of. That's the ability to make things happen, to make things change. That's the living truth. Because the power comes through the truth. And you have to have a true understanding of yourself before you can even have, just like I said earlier, the toilet don't flush itself. You take a number 2 in the toilet, yo, you gonna let it sit there or you gonna flush it? You see? The wisdom, yo, you just take a number 2, get up and leave, yo, that ain't good. Yo, the wisdom and the understanding, yo, I know this ain't good, so I'm gonna flush it. Now I'm exercising my power. Now I'm showing forth my real wisdom in my actions. In my actions. The alphabet is that description of my physical nature. And you're going to see my wisdom because I'm expressing it through wisdom understanding. That makes sense? Peace to the God. Peace. Did you hear what I said? Can you hear me?
Yeah, he heard you.
Okay, word. Yeah. You know,
But uh, anybody else out there got any questions? We in the final stretch over here. We have any questions just in general or about what I started out building on before the young guy came in? We can get to those now. People, I don't know, the people that was wondering too. I spoke to Supreme Understanding. So he's gonna be out here tomorrow at 7. He's uh he's gonna be in the front out there. Anyone? Anyone? Bueller?
yeah.
Who smell good? Oh man, you on the What Did I Miss cruise? Yeah, man, we've been around the world today.
Knowledge to Pluto.
We
Yo,
speaking on the best part, being the wisdom and understanding because that's what has to come from you. You know what I'm saying? The knowledge, right now, in terms of, that's the God degree, all right? 23 million square miles. Then when we deal with the 114, it tells you that the original man is chosen for himself, the best part. You know what I'm saying? So that best part is what comes from you. You can have the knowledge, but if you don't apply it, right, and you don't, use your mind and your insight to draw it up, then it's not gonna mean nothing. Real hip hop said if I was gonna build on current events, well, I've been kind of out the loop. Uh, what's the current, what's the goings on right now? Which particular current event? I tell you one thing I seen. Wisdom cipher. You know, uh, I mean, the way I've been drawing it up is that this year has given everybody 2020 vision. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of people have been revealed for who they really are and not just what they appear to be. A lot of situations have been for what they really are and not with just what they appear to be.
Hey,
You understand?
I was revealed for what I really was instead of what I really
Yeah.
Look, man. Like I learned a lot, man.
Right now, real hip hop said I'm seeing a lot of Karens get exposed and have panic attacks. What are your thoughts on Karens? Like I said, it's just the vision that's 2020 now. You know what I'm saying? They've always existed. You see what I'm saying? And here's a very you know, this has something to deal with see part of the feminist movement, right? And I know this is in your lane right here, real hip hop. You know,
And he ran with me.
yeah, But nah, but just because this ties in a little bit with the people that he singles out a lot of times. You know, part of how they made the coalition, right? With black women, right? You know, women of all different backgrounds, right? Is to portray what's been going on in America as just a patriarchal thing. You understand what I'm saying? And presenting this kind of idea that slavery was something that was perpetrated by the white man. You understand what I'm saying? But the reality is, right? If you go back to the reason for a lot of those lynchings, it's because of Karen, Scott. See, a very famous Karen
Yes, sir.
that often gets left out.
Yes, sir.
Listen, why did Emmett Till get killed?
Yes, sir.
See, Emmett Till got killed because of a Karen. And if you follow that story over, at some point on her deathbed, she admitted that she lied.
Yes, sir.
See, that was the reason, the KKK.
That's another Karen we ain't never heard about.
The KKK, what was their motto? They was there to protect white women. You understand what I'm saying? So when you deal with this science, this is something that is it's not a new phenomenon. Like I said, people just have 20/20 vision now to see things for what they really are. But what I'm saying is that even you could go back to the 1800s or whenever, all the time the KKK was there, that was the catalyst for a lot of brothers being lynched. You see what I'm saying? Because when you deal with the science, right, of segregation, right, it's clear that segregation was never about keeping the white man away from the black woman. That's never what it was about. It was about keeping the black man away from the white woman. So this Karen thing has been going on the entire time. You probably could trace it back further, but this thing is just an American phenomenon.
Like Karen is the reason why they felt like they had to take back over Spain.
Queen Isabella. Queen Isabella was a Karen. She was.
They had to get their women back.
You see what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that when I'm saying that this is just 2020. Even when you deal with all this different police brutality and all the different things, we've been known about this. But now everybody's got 20/20 vision
because of the exposure.
Because it's on camera.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? It's 20/20 vision that you can see with the naked eye.
I was building with somebody on that. Like when you expose film, what you do, you bring the picture in the view.
Mm-hmm. Now, Shalal brings up a good point right here. Real hip hop. And I noticed you did that a couple times. Why do you keep spelling cipher with a Y? Is there a reason that you're doing that?
You see that cream. That cream is the best part that rise to the top, right? The cream of the planet Earth. That's the fifth attribute in the knowledge degree, right? You see, because that power comes from within. You gotta have a foundation, and the things that go within is when you do the knowledge, things come in, right? You're doing the knowledge, you're looking, things are coming into your vision. You listening, things is coming into your hearing, right? You observe, things is coming into your mind. You respect, things is coming in your circumference at this point. Because when you respect things, others respect you back, right? So people want to deal with you now.
Yeah, nah, cipher is spelled Cipher. See this, and this is, look, this is why I keep saying you gotta watch slang.
Best part, man.
You see,
You can't be
imitation is what do you call it? The imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. You understand what I mean? So
best
you
part,
have
the
a lot of
positive
people.
things.
You have a lot of people, right? That over the years they saw the gods rising to the top, right? And they borrowed things from what we was doing, things that they admired about what we did, right? They try to introduce that into what they was doing. And see, the way you spell the cipher, right, is from that's really from the hip hop world. That see, they saw us standing in a circle building. You know what I'm saying? And so when you had a group of people rhyming, right, and you had the people observing, a lot of times they stood in a circle too, because they saw the power of that format. You see what I'm saying? So then you started hearing people say rap cipher, and then you have people that think like, well, especially with the 5%, because they knew that we was very serious about what we was doing. They'll try to spell it with a Y. You understand what I'm saying? To try to say that this is something different. Now I ain't saying that you troll. I'm explaining to you where the origin of a lot of things come from. Is that it goes into the hip hop world, right? And then the people who they don't really understand, right? They try to fashion it into really a fashion. You know what I'm saying? They make it into a fashion and a fad. You understand what I'm saying? So that's where people started writing Cypher. You understand what I'm saying? Because when we was growing up back in the days, we used to say cipher is see I power her, or her power I see. Now see, that depends on if you know who you are. But I don't want to get too deep into that because this is a Hotep channel. Peace.
How sorry you felt?
Yeah, right. I seen that. Wisdom with a Z. You understand what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that came from the slang of Wu-Tang saying Wiz. So then a lot of people misunderstood what that really was for, and all of a sudden you started seeing wisdom with a Z. Karis One, no, he don't represent us. Uh, you once he made his statements uh, in defense of Africa Bambaataa, and it's one thing, and I don't, I'm not saying whether he's lying or not. That's not my point. What I'm saying is that if you was gonna defend Africa Bambaataa by saying no, that didn't happen, you know what I mean? And this dude is, what he's saying is false. That would be one defense. You know what I mean? That would be something like, okay. But see, once you get to the point where you saying, well, look, even if he did that, we still gotta overlook it. Then we gotta deal with the science of, like I said, you gotta be a man before you can be God. You see what I'm saying? And the things you do, the character that you have, is what kind of man you are. You see what I mean? And what kind of man you are is going to become amplified when you get the knowledge of God. You understand what I'm saying? Now, Lord Shalom Kareem is saying also that he teaches that the black woman is God. Now, I haven't followed him like that in a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? I do know that he comes from a more Afrocentric point of view, and the way I see it, you know what I'm saying? They teach wisdom knowledge. That's wisdom knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? Like, their point is, because the woman is the first one that you experience on this physical plane, that she's God. Right, Lord Shalom just gave another example. The B-boy stance, like when you seen LL Cool J and all of them stand like this, that came from them seeing brothers standing on the square. So the B-boy stance, where you supposed to be looking hard, they saw the gods, you know what I'm saying, standing in cipher, and that, so that was something that they introduced into their world. But we don't teach that. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't teach that everything started on this physical plane. You understand what I'm saying? When you're dealing with life itself, you know what I'm saying? Life itself is not begotten. See, if you see yourself as life itself, then you don't trace, your history as the supreme being back to your physical birth date. Your physical birth date is when you came on this plane in order to show and prove in this world, because we show and prove in what? All worlds from highest to lowest. But when we say we the original man, you know what I'm saying? We know that, that date of our physical birth is not the origin of man. From what I understand about what they teach about the black woman is God. It's not my philosophy.
What you learn to make them learn, or make them understand what you get what you learn.
This is a Hotep channel, but not that Hotep.
That's the question. Not nothing specific.
So like I said, that's one of the reasons that you got to look out for slang, and you got to look out for, what they call like debasing things. You know, when you debase the language. You know what I'm saying? When you take away from the meaning, because, you know, at the end of the day, that's usage. You know what I'm saying? Like in terms of when you're speaking a language, usage is the way that you use words. So you have words, right, that if you look up the etymology of it, they meant the opposite when that word started out, but then through the usage, you know, you using it as a slang, it can become something totally different. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, anybody that got you know, if you're actually, I don't know what the cutoff age for that is, but brothers that's in a certain age group will tell you that at one time, bad meant good. In fact, to this day, I think that's still the case. You know, because you still hear people say, you know, that's a bad beat. There's a Hotep channel. But bad meant good through slang. But see, when we dealing with supreme mathematics, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's supreme because it has meaning. And this meaning is concrete. You have to watch out for that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you pick a name. When you go outside, when you choose a name, when you go outside. Said Chris had that song a few years back with Puba over the Primo beat, paying homage to the gods. I mean, El Rahim, peace to the God, my brother. You know, so that's why you gotta be aware. You know what I'm saying? You know, look, even the people that you around. You know what I'm saying? Like it's sometimes, yeah, when we are amongst ourselves. You know what I mean? Or if we in situations. See, that's where a lot of that stuff comes from too. It's from brothers being locked up and not wanting the devil to know everything they was discussing. You see what I'm saying? So they started using the language in a certain way, but then it comes out here and it can very easily lead to misunderstanding for the people who wasn't in that world, right, and didn't know what the purpose for that was. Because look, it had to be a reason. Kareem said he's a great teacher on most other aspects, especially the culture of hip hop from a historical perspective. Now, I don't really think so. I'm gonna tell you something. Like a lot of what he say, it's like I was a little kid, but I don't really recall that. Like he always say, yo, it was all these gangs until Zulu Nation ended the gang. No, it didn't. Zulu Nation was a gang. I you know, in the in the 70s and early 80s, Zulu Nation was a gang. They had something called the first 10 chapters. And that's what the first 10 chapters was known for. They don't, you know, they get it in. And just a couple other things he said, like even to this day right now, Kareem. Who you see out there rhyming? Who you see out there rhyming like Planet Rock? Nobody, they didn't influence. Who you seen, you know, people like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? The MC who probably established the way people rhyme the most was Melly Mel. Like if you ask the different people, you know, like if you ask Nas, who's your favorite dude? You know, Yo, Rakim Kuji was, yo, Rakim Kuji, who's your favorite dude? Kumo D, Grandmaster Cash, Kumo D, Grandmaster Cash. Who's your favorite dude? Melly Mel. You don't never. When's the last time you what record that Planet Rock was like a disco record to me? I mean, it was a great breakdancing song. But I don't know, man. Yeah, you're right, Lord Shala. And overstand is something that I first started hearing that from the Ansars. And then slowly, that it seeped into this nation, where I hear it quite a lot now. Like you picture that on Instagram, right? Wavy Brown, right? You gonna get mad if people keep asking why you say Wavy Brown? No. Is that gonna frustrate you? No. Why not? What's going on? Hey, listen, man. Guess who's in the room with us, man? Hey, man. Are y'all seeing who's in the room with us? Jamal Gray said, right, he delivers a romanticized version of hip hop's origin. 793 said Keith Cowboy was the man before he passed. Who you talking about? Does anybody notice who's in the room with us right now? But Shala says, some get intrigued by the drum line from the Woo. Nah. I'm talking about in the chat room, man. Has anybody paid attention? Hold on. Let me bring this up over here for y'all. Does anybody see that right there?
Yeah, Allah School in Mecca.
The guy in Mecca is on the set. Yeah, peace to the God. Didn't I tell y'all it was going to be any day now? Didn't I tell y'all that? Now 793, you talking about Cowboy from the Furious 5. See, no, everybody in the Furious 5. Raheem, everybody in the Furious 5, that was kind of like a super group that they put together. But of course, Melly Mel kind of separated himself with that record, The Message. Why would it frustrate you? Like the whole street commentary, kind of music. The street commentary kind of music that you heard from Nas and Biggie and Wu-Tang and whoever else, that came from The Message. But yeah, see, this is they don't know, right? This is a monumental. This is monumental right here. Right? We got Inf Mega back in the building. That's not gonna work. So soon we'll be back to action packed. Yeah, Inf, you gotta come back, man. My views is down. My views is down, man. You gotta come back. You gotta come back so my views can go back up, man.
So,
Right.
but you
Lord Shalom said they got making that kind of music
don't have no problem
from the West Indians. If you notice a lot of their music, you know, they talk about Babylon, you know what I'm saying? And they was dealing with a lot of social issues and a lot of social commentary. You know what I'm saying? You hear a lot from the rosters, you know what I'm saying, in the reggae music scene. A lot of it came from the reggae music scene. You know what I'm saying? Because Flash and Kool Herc and them was West Indian. And out there, they got the sound systems where the people come out with their big speakers and blast their music.
That's why they ask me, bro.
So a lot of the things that you seen being outside in the park and all of that, that was a tradition that they brought with them.
Like, are you saying like you don't feel like you like? Like, can you understand what I'm confused?
They don't know you.
Yeah. If somebody asks you if they know you or not, if they ask you why you call yourself baby brother on Instagram, right? You said that on body, right? But you said if somebody asked you or kept asking you why you changed his name or not his name, you said that would frustrate you, right? And I'm asking you, what's the difference? Why would it frustrate you if they would ask you why you call yourself something on Instagram? But then it frustrates you to have to explain why you.
There's people in the Wu-Tang from the West, that's West Indian.
Because that's the right name, right?
I don't know nothing about that.
That you want to represent you, right? Just like Baby Brown, you want to represent you, right? So I'm asking you, why would what frustrate you to have to explain and hold more? Because when it's easier to explain,
The Fatback Band, nah, you know, you got a whole bunch of people, the other record signifying monkey, what's that other dude? Baby Huey. Listen, man, stop it. Stop it, man.
and that was learning, so you tell people
Stop it, man.
what's wrong with that. So why would you say that frustrates you?
There was people that, you know, look, all music, of course, you know what I'm saying, is related. It grows out of other music. You know what I'm saying? But all these other people that they try to say they was the first ones making hip hop now. First hip hop record was from King Tim the Third. And the first rapper that I mean at the time I didn't even know him, you know, but apparently it was a dude named Coke LaRock.
Like imagine this, the mother and knowledge, right? How many people the mother and the knowledge like 16? How many people that movie while in the knowledge or while in the
I'm saying I've been around Wu-Tang. I never known any of them to be West Indian. I mean, it's possible, you know,
last 30 years.
but I never heard that.
Like my name been knowledge for 30 years. So I know
A lot of these people be saying Poor Righteous Teachers. If Supreme Man was on here, he would know that, but I never heard that from them either. See, you gotta remember, you know, in New York, they, you know, it's a lot of what they call back in the days faking Jamaicans.
yeah, I'm 47 now. It's 31, but I just say 30. Then I got it when I was 16.
No, it never makes sense. Something like, when you
89.
Well, I don't know about if Copeland Rock is West Indian because I never met him. I don't think Africa Bambaataa is West Indian.
No, it was 19. I was born in 1973.
But I'm not sure. He Kareem said boot camp, maybe not who. I mean, you know, reggae was an influence, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, you got to remember, you even had that era. You had that era, especially before a lot of these artists you talking about like boot camp and woo, where you had like you had you know, like the Shabba ranks and the all that type of stuff like that was out, and yeah, it was an influence on what was going on. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you from certain areas, like if you from uptown in the Bronx by White Plains Road, you grew up with West Indians, so you know about that culture. You know what I'm saying? If you've been around Flatbush, if you've been around uh, the certain parts of Jamaica, Queens, you know what I'm saying? Right, Mad Lion, all of that was an era where the West Indian music was really popping. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, that had a influence. You know what I'm saying? But some of the people that y'all saying is West Indian, I never heard that. Yeah, it's about that time. We
Peace to the class. Peace to the class.
We almost at the 3 hour mark. I don't even know who made that the 3 album. I mean, somehow Sunyas just made that the yeah, Sunyas just made that the time.
For the class.
Yeah, 3 hours.
Understand that.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Yeah, I was like, man, look, I gotta step my game up, man.
You know, the God they tell me in the garden too.
Yeah, tell them don't leave yet, cause I gotta handle something over there.
In fact, I'm gonna go through this way.
Peace.
Peace.
All right. Have a safe, guys. And you know about that Delaware.
All right, I'm gonna let you know if I'm ready to roll.
Just called me too, so I'm gonna hit him up on the road. I had exact dates.
All right.
Peace.
All right, guys, you signing off?
Yeah, in a minute I'm about to sign off, man. Unless we got any outstanding questions yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The young guy is he's bouncing. We see what he retained next week.
Yeah.
Huh? Real hip hop to what does Hotep mean to me? Yeah, that was Lord Shalal. That second album, I was like, whoa, they went a little bit off the deep end. As W said, a lot of them fell from this to that Israelite lifestyle. I mean, you know what it is? You gotta remember that a lot of these other nations, right? They don't have the same degree of responsibility. You know what I'm saying? They don't have, you don't have to quote lessons. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the main ones. Let's keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to quote lessons, and you're not responsible for the best part, like I said. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of other places you could just go and do the knowledge. See, the wisdom and the understanding, that's got to come from you. You know what I'm saying? When you go to church, you just do the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Most of the other places I've seen, like they may have certain scholars. you know, if you go in the Christian world, yes, people that went to theology school and they might be a particular biblical scholar. You understand what I'm saying? Or uh uh you know uh same thing in Islam. You know what I mean? Where you have certain people that are in particular, you know, scholars and studies of it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, most people, you know, they might deal with a little memorization, you know, of certain important passages, you know what I'm saying, or you know, verses or surahs or whatever. But it's no, you know, it's not gonna be like, yo, guy, how you see today's mathematics? See, that's what a lot of people wanted to get away from. And then, you know, I don't recall if you recall, man, this was a I'm not sure if this was a live or whatever, but this was one of my earlier videos, right? When I talked about being rooted in who you are. See, that's why we tell people, look, get your 120 on cap, you know what I'm saying, and then go study and all that stuff. You see, because what happens is you end up getting caught up in whatever it is that you studying. There's no knowledge, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, is off limits or bad knowledge, you know what I'm saying? There's things that's true and things that's not true. But you know, if you're not grounded in uh if you're not grounded in who it is that you are, you can easily get caught up in any one of these worlds. But do we have any other questions? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? I don't know if y'all hear Day Son out there banging on the drums. Y'all hear that? All right, so well, yeah, that's what I you know, I specialize in teaching the youth. Yeah, I don't know what style that is. You know, when you see they sing, it's all, yeah. One day you run into they son and he's on his African kick, and you know, some days he's West Indian they son. It all depends on the day. But Yeah, we definitely had a good class with the young today. I like when we get to keep it simple. I like when we get to keep it simple and add on to everything in life at the same time. But everybody that made it this far with me, do the each one teach one, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And I guess I'll be back out here. I gotta be back out here tomorrow with Supreme Understanding to make sure everything is official over there. In case if he needs to use the yard or something. He said I'm going to get controversial. Oh yeah, that was a question too I didn't answer. Real Hip Hop asked, "What does Hotep mean to me?" I don't really, I just noticed that they exalt the woman very much. So I add a little Hotepness to my channel because I'm not vegan. That's what I'm noticing. That's another thing right there that in terms of everybody that's doing some type of building, I'm probably the only person that's not vegan. Yeah, well, I forgot. You know something? And I was down around your way too, Shalak. But you know what it is, man? It's just been wild, hectic. It's been crazy hectic, man. Listen, and that's another thing, Shalak, too. They try to sneak the school open on me. That's why I had to be down here. Lord Ramel, Mr. 52 Blocks interview. Kareem said, "Respect is not knowledge." How you see that? Yeah, I had to check it out. I haven't watched Coin Flip in a little minute, man. Shout out to Coin Flip. I watched Coin Flip, but I haven't really had a chance. Like I said, man, a lot of things I've been up here getting everything in order at the school because it's one of them things where being shut down for 3 months. What it was, 3 months? Yeah, like 3 months and some change. You know what I'm saying? The yard was overgrown. You know what I'm saying? You had to get all of that in order. We had to get inside here in order. Organizing the event, the All God rally that we had. I've been finishing up my album. I'm about to have a listening party maybe tomorrow on Instagram though. I can't even recall what my new date is, man. I think my new date is I don't even know, it's in September. Bubonic for you said, did you read any of that trilateral commission reports or the Hillary emails. Now I definitely didn't read the Hillary emails. I mean, which Trilateral Commission report? It was. Oh, now that's another one. I got caught up in the one that I'm making in September because I had a deadline on that from Fat Beats. So I had to get that. I had to get that. I had to get that thing. You sent me all of them up to about 2,000. You probably gotta send them to me again, man. Like that's see, this is something that's important, man. This is an important lesson. Is that you gotta complete ciphers. See, sometimes you're dealing with things and you're making progress with everything, but you're not completing the cipher. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, send it where you sent it to me at. Real hip hop, you got a podcast? I gotta check your podcast, man. I know that's crazy. Hey, listen, you you uh you sent it just now. You gotta send it again, man. I'm telling you, I get like 100 emails a day, man, from everything. When people order shirts, it's emails. When people, you understand what I'm saying? So email it to me again and put put the what's your name in the subject line. Where your podcast is at, Real Hip Hop, on your YouTube channel? Yeah, I'm still waiting on he Kareem to tell me how knowledge is not respect. Oh, you do a music podcast. Yeah, Fame Labs Music is my email, but I'm saying I get 1,000. Like, look, everybody that sends me beats, when I'm making T-shirts, the orders come in to Fame Labs Music. So, all right, bet. All right, check it out.
Hey, Kareem said respect is wisdom.
Yeah, but I'm saying how you see that. All right, you spit the classics. I love the classics. Who you got? You got to spin that David Ruffin. Yeah, but how you see respect as wisdom? Interesting, interesting. Right, but Shalab, if it's not complete, it's not a cipher. So I got all these different things that I'm doing, but I gotta start bringing them home. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got a couple of projects that I gotta finish. Um, I got a couple of things. So that's why I'm trying. That's why I'm teaching the young now, man. I need some young brothers to come in and take some of this weight off of me, so I could get down to some things. Still waiting on he Kareem to explain how respect is wisdom. This must be a doozy. Respect has to be learned. It has to be shown. You cannot have respect in your mind. It has to be shown. Um.
I disagree.
Well. Uh. Well. First, let's start from this. And see, this is one of those things that I'm talking about usage, right? Um. Versus meaning. The root word of respect is spect, like spectacle, or in the late 90s, and then I never heard a God include respect with
See,
knowledge.
you
The,
see,
the root word of respect is spect. You know what I'm saying? Which that's something, a spectacle is something that you look at. And respect means to look again.
right. See, respect is a given. Respect, a lot of people say you got to give respect to get it. That's not true. Respect is a given. Even if my enemy doesn't respect me, I still have to respect my enemy or he might take my head. So it's like, respect has to be first before you make a move. You got to respect the ground. The ground's at hand. You got to respect the foundation. Because just because you respectful don't mean you about to be respected. Somebody might disrespect you even though you being respectful towards them. So you're not getting it even though you giving it. Nah. See, that's the term the Caucasians was using. They used to say, you know, you got to give us respect for us to give you respect. That's like racism right there. You got to give respect to get it. Well, you must be talking to the black man because we the only ones y'all disrespecting constantly.
We got state of the art came in. What's the deal? State of the art. I will manifest. It's been a minute. You said it can be a reflection of your knowledge, but it is not actual knowledge. It is actual wisdom. All right, so let me ask you a question. Is thinking knowledge or wisdom? Is learning knowledge or wisdom?
Well, even when we say knowledge, right? To get knowledge, we say you got to do the knowledge. When you say do the knowledge, this is you actually doing something. You have to attempt to learn. This is a skill. Listening is a skill, and you could get better at it. You know, because knowledge is the foundation. So looking, listening, observing, and respecting is going to be intertwined and within everything.
Right. Now, everybody said that learning is knowledge. Now, look,
Right.
it tells you, look, it said the Kareem you're talking about. Okay, but looking is a verb, he Kareem. See, remember, it says knowledge is to look, listen, observe, and then, like I said, respect means to look again.
God said respect is not a given. What do you mean
You
by that?
said you didn't start hearing respect to the 2000s. I mean, it was definitely around in the 80s. I don't know what happened in the 90s, how it disappeared, but it was definitely around in the 80s.
God, Lord Shallah said respect is not a given.
Well,
When I say
it's
it's a
not
given, I'm saying that in order to
it's not
learn, in order to truly learn, you have to deal with respecting that which you're learning from, or that which you're paying attention to, that which you're observing, listening to, or looking at. You got to have respect for that to remember that. Just like you had to respect your lessons for you to memorize them. If you didn't respect them lessons, you would have never memorized them. You would have never had that knowledge, put it on your cap, and been able to walk and talk with it. That's what I'm saying. Respect is a given. In order for you to truly have a strong foundation and to expand your foundation, to make it bigger.
See now, he Kareem, you saying that thinking is knowledge, right? But again, thinking is an action. That's something that you have to actually do. Like, look, you know how look, see, little kids, they gotta learn how to think. Like if you got kids, right, and they go outside and leave the door wide open. They do stuff like that because they not thinking.
If respect is
Nah,
first,
see,
isn't knowledge first?
he Kareem, this is what I'm telling you. You got to do the
The
knowledge to
knowledge to what you're
usage.
saying.
See, respect has come to mean, right? the way I treat a person. But see, respect, like when you respect your elders, you pay careful attention to who you're talking to.
I got an example.
See
I
what
got
I'm
an
saying?
example.
Like for instance, with your parents, right? A lot of times you ever had your parents tell you this, like, look, man, I'm not your friends, right?
Mm.
And you may be talking to someone like, hey, man, I'm not your friends in the street. Pay attention carefully to who you're talking to. See, that's the respect. The way I treat you, right, is based on how much I respect you. Now, the difference between what you're saying all on the business and what Lord Shalah is saying is what you saying all on the business is that, you know, respect is my default state. A person doesn't have to earn my respect. You got to earn my disrespect.
Right.
You
Now,
understand what I'm saying?
let
But
me
see,
add
what
on
Lord
to that.
Shalah is saying is that that's not a given in life, that respect is going to be present in a particular cipher.
Right. That's not going to be a given to you. That doesn't mean it doesn't have to be a given from you though. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, it's like right now the God made a statement. The God said if respect is first, isn't knowledge first, due to knowledge to what you're saying. Them brothers in the 90s told you that was wrong. Okay. I didn't learn in the 90s. You see, now the God technically, you know, just for the sake of teaching, that's disrespectful. To say them brothers in the 90s when you don't even know who educated you. You don't know when or where I got educated. So therefore, your statement is null and void and it's not wisdom because you didn't do the knowledge first because you didn't have respect for that who you was talking to. Now, what I'm saying is respect is not first. Knowledge is first. Now, I teach my children this. Knowledge has a meaning and it also, so you got what is knowledge and what does knowledge mean? See, knowledge means look, listen, observe, and respect. So you can learn. Look, listen, observe, respect, learn. Right? That's what it means. But what is knowledge? Knowledge is the foundation of everything in existence. So if you say, what is it? That's different than what does it mean? If we say, what is wisdom? Wisdom is the way I express my knowledge through my words, and my actions. That is what wisdom is. What does wisdom mean? Wisdom means wise words and actions being spoken by the original man. And I'll say man, woman, and child, because we all speak wise words. But I'm just saying, when you're dealing with what is the meaning and what is, I see two different answers to that question. For example, the power degree in the student enrollment. What is the total area in square miles on the planet Earth? Then you go to the culture degree in the 1 through 40, and it says, what is the total square mileage on the planet Earth? So what I'm trying to explain is these two questions are different questions because the questions are worded different. One talks about square mileage, one talks about total area in square miles. And one may say, yo, them degrees is the same degree. But if you know your degrees, you know the words and you studied them, you looked at them, you stared at them, you know that, yo, these two questions is two different questions, even though the answer is the same. And that's why one's the culture degree and one's the power degree. So you can see how two different things are going to relate. And I think that's kind of where the confusion is. I'm not in disagreement. I'm not disagreeing.
Hold on a
Pardon.
second. Kareem, I got a question.
Yeah, pardon,
Right.
sir.
is supreme mathematics wisdom? Because you got to learn supreme mathematics too.
You know, I'm gonna tell you like this, man.
Now,
The best
you
gets.
might you might need to look at this aspect too, Kareem. That knowledge, right? When you just say knowledge in the supreme alphabet, in the supreme mathematics, right? Knowledge itself goes from knowledge to born. Wisdom goes from knowledge to born. Understanding goes from knowledge to born. So there's a lot of aspects in there that I'm saying is you know, this is why we say that learning is knowledge. But you said you learn respect from your parents, from your household. This is being taught. When you have to learn something and do it, that's one. Then you know how to do it, that's two. Yeah, but see, how you're respecting is something different.
You learn.
Like, for
You
instance, let me give you a good example. Right? You respect your parents, right? But look here. If you were in a black household, right, and your parents are talking to you and you ain't looking at them, that's disrespect.
right.
You hold on for a second. You respect your parents, but if they talking to you and you're not looking at them, they take that as disrespect. Now, in Asian cultures, like for instance, in Japan, for you to look your parents in the eye is disrespect. The respect is one thing. What you do out of respect is a different thing. Just like when you go in different cultures. Like, look, I respect you as a person, but I'm not going to eat this hand. Now, in some places, right, I feel disrespected that you offered me that. And in other places, they feel disrespected because you didn't accept their hospitality. So what you're saying is two different things. In terms of how the respect is lived out is separate from what respect is. Rashida said, you can't find a way to convince me of your point. I got knowledge in 1980, and respect was in my manifestation of knowledge and trust. I was not the only one. Nobody before the 90s would even fix their mouth to say that. I mean, yeah, I had to say they that was respect was in there the whole time I had it. I didn't know it came out in the 90s. I didn't even know that. But you know, what happens is people draw things up. You know what I'm saying? Just like, look, we have brothers come on here before and tell us that the truth is not power. Or power is not the truth, whichever way they said it. So that's where he grew up. So now, of course, when he manifested to somebody, he's not going to tell them that power is the truth. So they're going to say, well, look, when I got it, nobody was saying that. But just as a matter of you know, a historical matter, yeah, respect was part of it for the whole time I had the knowledge.
I mean, definitely for me, that for sure. I just know, you know, the best gets better, man. We supposed to add on. You know what I mean? So that's what we do. We add on, and if somebody sees what we adding on is not being positive, that's when the positive education is supposed to correct that error. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the times, man, it's just about showing and proving what you're saying, you know, and listening to what everybody's saying. I'm not knocking what nobody's saying. As far as, you know, somebody, you know, saying things a certain way, like I accept brothers, man. If somebody could step into the cipher in peace, I'm gonna accept what they have to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's saying like, yo, if they fix their mouth to say something, as long as they respectful, they can say what they gonna say. But when I'm speaking, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. And we listen to each other and not just let it go in one ear and out the other so we can respond. That's when you know the respect is mutual. Some people can't look at something, but they listening, right? Some people can't listen to something, but they looking. For example, if you working at an airport and you got earmuffs on, you can't hear nothing. You working by sight. You got to look and observe things with your eyes. And you got to have respect for that runway. And yo, them airplanes got to have respect for you because you just a little guy down there. And they know you can't hear. So everybody has to respect one another's space and respect one another's job so we can get things done. If you go to work and you disrespect your boss, you're not getting no paycheck. All the wisdom is cut short after that. You're not going to work. You're not, yo, if you own a business and you disrespect your clients, you're gonna lose your own clients. But the respect is shown when they speaking or when they doing something, how you treat them, how you observe them, and how you respond to them, because that's the respect part. Like, what you say back to somebody shows if you really respect them or not. But that comes after the knowledge. You got to listen first. Otherwise, you just speaking just to speak. And I'm not talking about you, Lord Shalah, in particular. You feel what I'm saying? I teach too, and I don't teach like that. I'm not singling you out, not singling nobody out. I'm talking in general terms, how I could draw up how I see mathematics. You know what I mean? And then, I mean, anybody could call on. You call, like, yo, we add on. You add on this. I take it as me compiling information or me compiling everything that the gods have to say and me taking the best part and leaving the worst part. So I want anybody to say what they have to say, and as long as you sincere in what you saying, today's math, wisdom, understanding is, yo, the words you say have to be sincere. Sincerity is a form of understanding. Sincere is a form of understanding. So when you speak with sincerity, now I know that we about to grow and we about to make things happen. So as long as, you know, it's all from the heart, then it's all love, God. I don't know you. You don't know me as far as, you know, in the physical. But in the mind, we all one. That's why we both ended up in the same class. You know what I'm saying? And I respect the whole class. That's why I keep coming. If I felt like the class was a disrespectful class or I didn't respect somebody or something, nah, you'll never hear me say I don't respect somebody. I don't even talk like that. Because I know what really respect really means, bro. Now, if I get out of line with somebody and have to go physical or something, yo, that's not me disrespecting you. Yo, that's me laying down justice. If I got to take it that far. But I'm just saying, I don't never take it to where I'm trying to draw the first blow on somebody. And if I do, I step back and I apologize as a righteous man. Like, yo, pardon, I didn't mean to offend you. You know what I'm saying? If I offended you, pardon me. You know, I almost hit somebody today in my car. You know, just turning too fast. And I stopped and he looked at me like, keep going, bro. And I'm like, nah, bro, it's on you. You go. You know, that's my bad. And I said it twice, like, yo, I apologize. I wasn't paying attention as much as I should have been. You know what I'm saying? And he gave me the head nod with the peace sign and kept it moving. And it's like, it's power in that. That me keeping that peace with that brother. Because he could have blown at any second. Because I don't know what he was going through. That man might have lost everything and caught coronavirus. I don't know what's going on with this man. You know what I mean? And as soon as I get out of line, he gonna be ready to, lay down the punishment on me. Because I didn't have no respect for him. So that's, I respect everybody in the class. I don't ever want that to get misconstrued, confused. Man, Darkim know, man. I mean, to the best of his knowledge, that I'm sincere about coming to this class and building with brothers. So you know what I mean?
Now, Kareem, you asked a question here. Am I saying that respect, absolutely without a doubt, cannot be wisdom? What I'm saying is that when respect is manifested, then it becomes wisdom. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Put it like this, right? See the young guy that was here? I respect the young guy, right? But the way that respect is manifested is by me teaching him. Now I grew up, right, amongst firstborn. The way I respected those brothers was by listening. So see, everything that I'm speaking right now, my wisdom, right, is the manifestation of the knowledge that I have. The way you show the respect is wisdom. But the respect itself, look, there's some things that I respect, stay away from that. Because I respect what that's about, stay away from that. I don't have no interaction with it whatsoever.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying is that whatever the respect is, it takes, just put like this. Here's another form, right? In certain cultures, right, to respect the dead, they bring them a plate of food. You understand what I'm saying? In the culture in particular, you know what I'm saying, American culture, Western culture, whatever, you bring flowers. But the respect is what you have for the person that brings about the manifestation of that action. You understand what I'm saying? Just like, it could be an old lady, right? And you hold the door for her, or you get up out of your seat. You know what I'm saying? If y'all somewhere and you sitting down and she not sitting down. Yeah, that's respect. That's the manifestation of the respect that you have for your elders. You understand what I'm saying? Look, I can respect your gun game, right? And that caused me to take you out first. Because I got respect for your gun game. I'm not going to play no games with you.
Gotta respect your enemy.
See, the way the respect is shown becomes wisdom. Or is wisdom. But the respect itself is the foundation of those actions. You understand what I mean? Just like, look, in New York, that was the thing. Like, if you slap somebody in the face, that was disrespect. A person would rather you punch them. You don't respect my power. See, that's what I'm saying. The respect is one thing. How it manifests is another thing.
You see, I don't see no like you see how we can't see. I see an agreement in all this. I don't see the wrong and the right. You know what I'm saying? It's love, hell, or right. And I'm pretty sure, you know, I don't love hell. You know what I'm saying? So it's all right because I'm open to correction and adjustment. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take what you're saying and I'm gonna put it to the test. I'm gonna see it in my everyday life. Exactly the words y'all saying right now, as far as respect being or not being knowledge, not being part of the foundation. Unless I'm getting it confused. However, that's just something that's like you gotta. In order to show and prove, I have to put scientific method to the test for myself. You know, there's nothing that you're gonna be able to show me over the internet right now because we're on the internet. So what I mean, you know, I know somebody speaking with sincerity could be incorrect. That's right. You could be sincerely led in the wrong direction, which is why the 85 is hard to be led in the right direction, right? Because they're sincere about liking the devil because the devil gives them nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not in that pool of people. When I say I'm sincere with the love in my heart. The love in my heart, man.
Okay. How's everything going?
To walk and talk
Yeah, we had a good class yesterday.
with all you brothers in real life or on this internet. You know, I've already linked up with some brothers in class. You know, and like I said, it's all love. Lord Salah, you know. And I'm not saying you wrong. I'm not saying I'm wrong. That's the whole thing I'm trying to explain here. I don't. When it comes to building, I'm not dealing with wrongs and rights. I deal with, you know, well, if we're going to deal with an agreement or we're going to disagree. If we're going to disagree, then we need to find out where we can find an agreement. Before we say, you know, when we huddle up, before we say break, we need to have an agreement. It doesn't have to be an agreement on the totality of the subject, but it could be an agreement on the small parts of the subject. If you're dealing with knowledge, there's different degrees within that. So if we can agree with the looking and listening, observing, then I can rock with that. If you saying yo, I don't got respect in that. Yo, I'm not gonna say you wrong. You just gonna have to show and prove it in your everyday life.
Yeah. A brother was supposed to purchase it, but he I gave
you know what I'm saying?
Refund, and I just had it shipped here, so I was gonna put it in the store over there.
There's many different parts of a car. You got a car, you got the steering wheel, you got the tires. Yo, the car is not a car if you take one of these parts off, man. It's not gonna move. It's not gonna work right. So I could be the little screw in the back of the car that holds the bumper up. I could be that. I could be a wheel bearing. I could be the oil pan screw that holds the oil in. You got to be able to play your position and your part to keep the car moving. That's all I'm saying. So when I say sincerity, you see, sincerity means you gonna play your position regardless of whom or what. You gonna do your duty.
All right, everything else all right though?
Yeah, everything's
You know what I'm saying? The oil pan is an oil pan. You don't put transmission fluid in the oil pan. You put oil in the oil pan. You put, you know what I'm saying? You don't put windshield wiper fluid in the gas tank. This is what I'm saying. So we can't be feeling like we mixing and mangling with each other while we in class, right? I don't feel like you disrespected me. I feel like you love me. Otherwise, you wouldn't even have spoke to me. If you had no respect for me, would you reply? I don't even talk to people if I feel like there's no respect within our realm. We gotta build the respect before we can even get to walking and talking. So I'm sure all of us have a high respect for one another to keep coming to class is what I was saying. That alone demonstrates your sincerity. You sincere because you keep coming back. Why you keep coming back if you're not sincere? Why you keep coming to the house if you don't like chilling at the house? I like coming back. I like swinging the swords. I like sharpening my steel. That's what I mean about the sincerity.
On Facebook, yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. But that's it. You know, I'm looking. Kareem said, indeed, me as well, G. I'm just sharing my perspective because I know we got some real guys, scientists in the room. Yeah. And I'm nothing. I'm just a grain of sand in the ocean. You feel me?
Now listen, look at what you just said, Kareem. You said you mean respect in the context of righteous behavior. Now see what you just said, right? Is through my wisdom, you see my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Through my righteous behavior, you see that I have respect.
Right.
That's why I said the respect itself, right? That's one thing that you have. You understand what I'm saying? How you show it, that's the wisdom, that's the behavior.
Right. And if you're showing it through respect by listening to somebody and observing somebody and looking, and that's called doing the knowledge right there. You're doing the knowledge at that point. If you're not respectful, you're not doing the knowledge. If you're not using, man, listen. I always think of it like you said right now, like in a gunfight, in any fight. Yo, you run into that little short dude, you think you just about to knock him out. You size him up, you do the knowledge. You think you doing the knowledge because you ain't respecting this man. You looking at him like, oh, he's small. I got him, and then this dude jump up and knock you out. And it's like, because you didn't have respect for this man. You thought this little dude didn't have no hands. You don't respect Bruce Lee until he kick you in your stomach. You know what I'm saying? Now you respect him. After he kicked you in your stomach, nah. I'm gonna respect this man as we squaring up. I'm doing the knowledge to his style, where he about to go. I'm trying to anticipate his next move. And I can't do that unless I respect this man's abilities. You can never underestimate your opponent by being disrespectful. You'll lose 6 times out of 10. How about that? Sometimes that little short dude really will get knocked out. But if you underestimate him, yo, you already lost anyway. In the art of war, say the fight is won before any sword is ever being swung. Before the warriors take the battlefield, the war is already won. The person who won knows he won, and the person who lost is going to know he lost too. Because you can look at the board. Yeah, pardon yourself, bro.
the etymology up here from 793rd.
Mhm.
According to their origin, respectus, action of looking back, consideration, regard, equivalent to respect, variant of stem, recipicer, to look back, plus spectra, to look. So that's why, like I said, respect means to look again. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Pay careful attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, for me, right? I first got exposed to the knowledge before I got it. You know what I'm saying? I asked the brother a question about why he was saying he was God, and it didn't make, it didn't draw me up.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
over time, when I started, really doing the knowledge, that okay, wait a minute, this is not, he just told me something. But now I'm rolling with brothers, and I'm hearing more and I'm seeing more. I looked again. The action was me getting the knowledge. Lord Shah said, no doubt, God is love. Nick said, no doubt, God love is love. I'm firm on making sure brothers and sisters embracing my culture get the basics right and exact so they can have a strong foundation to proceed in life. Absolutely.
And I appreciate that right there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's about.
State of the art. L7 and law came in the end. I just realized just now we have the wordsmith in here today. We had the mathematician, but we had a wordsmith. See, we had the wordsmith. That would have been came up. But 42 minutes later, after we first was wrapping it up, but then Kareem started another side rally. Uh, like I said, man, anybody that's still here, do the each one teach one. Hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? If you're new to the channel, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be back in effect tomorrow to check y'all. Like I said, we might be broadcasting some of what Supreme Understanding is doing. But in the meantime, peace.
Peace.